What's up, everybody? Jesse back here showing a review of a custom golden Mecha Frieza that I have done here. This is my first time attempting a Mecha Frieza. I've been asked to do one a few times just as a suggestion, and I've never really wanted to do it. I like the design, I just never, didn't really interest me. But after doing a few customs, about a year of customs now under my belt, I decided to, why not? Let's give this guy a try. I'm pretty familiar with sculpting now. I'm pretty good. I'm decent. I'm not good. I'm decent with it. And yeah, I just went to town on Golden Frieza. I figured it would be cool to have that, And this particular figure, where I use Golden Frieza, to be honest with you, one, I think it would be cool to see, like what if he didn't get decimated by Trunks? And he trained and whatnot, and he became Golden Mecha Frieza. And secondly, I had a spare Golden Frieza whose joints were ridiculously tight. So I decided to just go ahead and give him a custom job. So everything here has been sculpted by me. And you see here, the head, chest piece, the tail. The tail itself is also sculpted by me. I wanted to do a more triangular shape here for the back, but it was going to be way too heavy for him. Because this is, I'm not utilizing any part of his original tail except for the ball joint itself. This is all sculpted by me. So if I would have done that, would have been too back heavy and you weren't going to be able to get him any type of poses. As it is now, this kind of like touches the floor, which is kind of cool. It's good enough because you can actually move the ball joint in there, so you can make it, when you're posing around, you can swip there. So, nothing too fancy there. You guys can see, boom, just pick it in and out. Now, what I did for a paint job, I went ahead and I gave him a black base coat over everything, right? Black base coat over everything. And then I went ahead and for these bronze pieces, I actually painted them brown. Then a lighter brown, and then I went over that with I dry brushed some bronze over it to make it have that metallic look, because he was put together in space using whatever parts they had there on the ship. So, and for the gunmetal pieces, again, same thing, black base coat, and then I dry brushed some gunmetal on there, so you guys can see it's not silver, it's not gray. It's got like that metallic look to it, dingy metal. I think it came out really nice. I went and added rivets all around. I figured that would be a nice look there. Nice robotic metallic look. Instead of having the, just epoxy over his shin, then making the line there. I thought that would be cool to have some rivets there. Sculpted his feet. Sculpted the lines on there, made him a little wider, a little heavier. For the form, I didn't really do much, not much sculpting there. I just decided to do a quick little paint job here, put some epoxy over his hand, make it a little thicker, make it a little thicker. And same thing here, black base coat, silver dry brushing, so you could see all the, the sculpting in there. The black blends in very well with that. Again, it gives it that dirty feeling. Got the paint all over here. Got his chest. He's right there. Just a little bit of epoxy pulling around in there, and then sculpted the little holes in there, and then the little donuts. Painted them blue. Then went over to his rib cage and added those lines in. And as for the head, it's a sculpted head. What I did was I sanded down the whole entire head. Just kind of sanded that down with the Dremel, and then I epoxied over it. I started with this piece first. Laid it on there, and then from behind, I went around and placed it all over. So then I also sculpted those lines in there. So that was done. This whole side of his face was done in one shot. And then I went over. After that dried up a bit, I smoothed it out, dried it up. Then I put this piece over here. And smoothed that down. let that solidify, and then I added this piece here. I added the lower piece, then the black piece, put that on top of that, and then the donuts. Did all that by hand. Sculpted this. This didn't come out with much shading as the rest of him did, but it still looks good to me. I added black there just to break up the metallic look. Figured it'd be good and use different pieces. You know, he is supposed to be scavenged, right, in space and just put together. So I'm really happy the way this piece came out, more so than all the other pieces, because I was doing this while I was also sick. You know, I was pretty sick while I was working on this, and I had to push it back a few times. So I wasn't really giving it my all. I wasn't really concentrating when I was doing these pieces right here. And like I had a quick lapse of memory, and I forgot a very important piece of sculpting. It would be smoothing and sanding with water. So then when I was feeling better, I was feeling 100%. I was, you know what? Let me really give this guy's head sculpted a nice job. Went ahead and did that, and I'm really pleased with how this whole head came out. I like it. What I did while I was sculpting too, I segmented these pieces, so it looks like different pieces of metal just being thrown together on him. Sanded down the eyes, the brow. He has that raised brow. Sanded that smooth. Then painted over it with black. Then around the cheek and the chin, I just went over with a nice little silver paint as well, because I figured his head, this Frieza, is a little smaller compared to the other Frieza, so he posed a little bit more of a challenge when it came down to sculpting and sorry, and all that stuff. As you can see, hold on one second, guys. I have where is he? I have the other Frieza right here. His head won't stay on right now for some reason. Yeah, well, his head won't stay on right now, and I was having a hard time getting this guy to actually stand. But if you can see, his proportions are a little bit different compared to this golden Frieza right here. And his head won't stay on for some reason. Why do you do this to me? Why? Why must you do this? So, this Frieza is a little bulkier. As you can see in the legs and the feet itself, like, look at that. His proportions are different. So, I mean, as hard as it would have been, to sculpt with this guy, this guy was a little bit harder to work with. So, I did have that working against me. And as you can see, his head is significantly smaller than this guy right here. Got a huge ass head. That's why I'm kind of happy with the sculpt that they did for this guy. Which makes me a little bit worried as to the 2.0 release of Frieza. I hope they don't use just this exact same mold. I hope they do a hybrid between this mode and this one. I kind of wish you would have the thickness of this Frieza with, the proportions of this Frieza. Like, he doesn't need a ginormous head. This head is perfectly fine. See, even the tail is longer. Sculpted a little bit differently too. The feet, he's got big feet. So, let's move these guys over here real quick. Take a look at Frieza. So yeah, I did this guy just out of boredom. I want to try something new. Wanted to test myself. Why won't his arm move down? There we go. You're acting up, Frieza. So yeah, I did this guy because I want to test myself. Want to see what I can do, how I can what I could get away with in sculpting with this guy, especially since he has such tight joints. When I got him, because I did get him with the intention of doing a different custom, but I decided screw that. We'll go with Mecha Frieza, because this will be badass to see, and I'm really pleased with how this came out, man. Especially the tail. Now looking at it, that looks awesome. and you can see it on all the profiles. This just looks really good. So yeah, I mean, if anybody actually wants this guy, I'm open to selling him. Normally, the ones that I showcase here were already sold, or they're from my personal collection. Some of them, not all. But this guy, I'm open. Just let me know. I'm open to selling him. Just gotta give him a nice little clear coat on there to seal all the paint job, even more so than it already is. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and hope you guys have a good one. Later, dudes.